We've all been there. The party ends, and while it feels bittersweet to say goodbye, it feels so extremely satisfying to have just a few moments of peace and quiet. But somehow, you're still left feeling exhausted. If you're new here, I'm Kate. I'm a therapist turned self-care enthusiast, and honestly, I've been struggling to make this video. I'm not exactly sure why. I've reworked it several times in my head, and nothing seems to feel right. So let me just tell you what's been going on. So long story super short, Corey and I created a company, U-Tini, back in 2017. Now, it was always more his baby than mine, but somehow he assembled this team of amazing human beings from all over the US and all over the world, and they've just collected around this idea of making fan groups positive. So we started off with Star Wars, we've led into baseball, we've led into Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, there's a lot of different things that deserve a positive fandom, and that's kind of our mission. This year, we decided to all gather together in person for, we call it the U-Tini Con, to just celebrate the company. Needless to say, it was an amazing time, but I definitely have a social hangover. While I'm emotionally and physically depleted at this point, life doesn't really seem to stop for that, you know? Originally, I wanted to give y'all a kind of vlog style video of me actually recovering from this giant event that was from Thursday to Sunday. So that's a long 4-day weekend full of hosting and activities and long nights, and just, you know, I'm an introvert and I'm a little exhausted, but you know, it's been several days. It's now Thursday. Everyone went home on Sunday, and while I still don't feel like I've actually recovered, here we are several days later. I think I just want to share with you guys what's been going on and just kind of like how I'm dealing with it today. So hope you enjoy. Let's find out what happens together. For whatever reason, starting work on Monday was not fun. It was not restful. I didn't feel like I had adequate time to take care of myself before starting the week. And honestly, this week has been pretty like shitty, not gonna lie. It's for various reasons. There's been a lot of chaos happening. I've rewritten this script like 3 times. So, you know, you're gonna get what you get, but also, and hang with me here because I'm gonna get a little philosophical. It got me thinking about this process of self-care. And if you were to have a glass of water, say this mug of coffee, say it's empty, I'm not done drinking it, but say it's empty. I wouldn't just pour new water into this mug. That's gross, like gross. There's like coffee bits on the sides of the walls of the cup, like ew. So obviously we have to do some self-care before starting new work, you know? I think all we get to in society is cleaning the glass. We're like, okay, the glass is empty now, and I'm not just gonna pour new water in. And sometimes we do try and do that. And does it work? No, because our glass is not clean. Let me explain to you those two concepts. Cleaning the glass is like taking care of your basic needs. It's taking care of your food, making sure you have water, your body is nourished, your space is clean and fresh. Like, this is making sure that you are ready to take in more things. And that's where we add the pouring of new water or new liquid, new coffee, whatever you want to add to your glass. And that's like nurturing. That's the self-care we typically think of. That's the spa day, the massage, I'm gonna read a nice book, I'm going to take a long shower. These are nice things, but if you're not prepped and ready for them, like, just picture this. Your house is a wreck, and you go and take a nice long shower, and you're like, this will fix all my problems. That's lovely. You have cleaned your body, and you're now maybe nice and relaxed, but listen, you're gonna step out of that shower and look around your house, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm stressed now because you just put clean liquid into a dirty glass, okay? So you have to have both a clean glass and new liquid to have in it, because we also fall into the trap of cleaning your space, making sure everything's ready. We've meal prepped for the week. We've ordered groceries. We have food. We cleaned up our space, but we didn't have any time to ourselves. And now it's Monday morning and you're still feeling exhausted, like you had no time off. Just think about that. So somehow we have to both clean the glass and pour new liquid into it before we can actually feel rejuvenated. When do we have time to do that? So let's actually talk about that cleaning the glass part, because this is where I feel like we get into like the basics of self-care. And honestly, I don't really like the words self-care, because it feels like we're naming the act of living. I mean, aren't we always taking care of ourselves? We have to, otherwise we wouldn't survive. It feels a little silly to me, or frivolous or something. It doesn't feel real or meaningful to me in some ways. But cleaning the glass, we've got to take care of our eating. We have to make sure we're eating right. And I've been eating a lot of fast food and processed foods. And let me tell you, my GI system has not been agreeing with me lately. Probably drinking way too much alcohol this past weekend. So no, my body does not feel great right now, and neither did my space, but I have cleaned that up. Honestly, I don't really like the word self-care. It feels like we're naming the act of living. I mean, aren't we always taking care of ourselves? We're always eating, sleeping, and cleaning our space or pampering ourselves. Like, what have you been doing? What do you mean you don't practice self-care? You've been doing it your whole life, otherwise you wouldn't have survived. It feels a little silly to me, or frivolous or something. It doesn't feel real or meaningful to me in some ways. But cleaning the glass, we've got to take care of our eating. We have to make sure we're eating right. And I've been eating a lot of fast food and processed foods. And let me tell you, my GI system has not been agreeing with me lately. Probably drinking way too much alcohol this past weekend. So no, my body does not feel great right now, and neither did my space, but I have cleaned that up. But I feel like I've been doing it for the past several days, and I still feel really bad. So maybe I've been doing it out of order? And this makes me think of a cartoon that I've seen recently of a raccoon. And it says, when you feel like everyone hates you, sleep. When you feel like you hate everyone, eat. And when you feel like you hate yourself, shower. And now I like this because it makes it really simple, but I don't understand how I've been doing it wrong. So I have actually tried to think about it this week of like, okay, if I am eating at least some vegetables, some fruits, like am taking showers, I've cleaned up my space, what feels so bad about taking care of my basic needs? I think it's the quality of time we spend on these issues. Oftentimes when it's a work week, it's a 10-minute shower for me. It's like, put the hair up, like we're not gonna wash that hair today. We're going to do fast or easy dinners, and we're gonna maybe add a sweet treat to have a little pick-me-up. But I think I'm expecting that to be enough, and it's really not. So it's been quite a long while since I've had a home-cooked meal, and I don't know if a meal kit counts as a home-cooked meal, but we're gonna count it. I mean, it's got some tomatoes, and I'm sure I can add some cucumber or something else to it to make it a little bit healthier, but honestly, I don't think this is too bad. I'm feeling a little better after having taken a shower and actually drying my hair and brushing it out. It might not look like it right now, but it's pretty smooth. It's pretty smooth. I haven't straightened my hair in about a week. It's been a tangly, frizzy mess because I haven't bothered to actually let it curl. But slowly taking care of basic needs. Food, shower, maybe sleep soon. This is preheating really slowly, so I'll let you know when I put it in. Bon appetit! And you know, even when I do these things, I do eat some healthy meals, maybe some salads, I don't know. Drink enough water and not as much caffeine. Yes, I feel like there's a lot less hate in my body. That's a joke, I'm not a raccoon. That's still just the basics. You know, I do feel better when I take care of my body and the space around me, but I never feel super rejuvenated at this point. I feel like I finally get to this place where I can relax and start letting my mind and my soul kind of rest and take a little bit of a back seat. But then work starts, or then life starts. Now it's time to pour water in. This is the part where it feels like there's never time for, giving my mind and soul time to recover, to be challenged, to recharge curiosity, time to enjoy old hobbies, maybe even some new hobbies. Take walks, smell the flowers. There's never enough time. Okay, so this might be something silly, but this is something I really enjoy doing. This fills my cup, okay? This fills my cup. It helps me process big emotions and process maybe some slower time, some ideas that aren't fully formed in my head. And that is collage. And no, I'm not cutting up magazines, because who buys magazines anymore? I use this little app and I have like all these different pages that I've created, and you can do this on Canva, you can do it on an app, you can do it on whatever you want to. But like, for example, this is a video idea that I've had kind of in my brain. I picked some thumbnails that resonated with me about insecurity and bodies, and just a lot of different colors that I felt like went with it. And there's only one word. There's only one word on this entire screen. It's insecurity, and I put up those letters on purpose. I think that's what I like about it, is it's abstract. It gives me a way to sort through my emotions and my feelings about things without having to put words to them. This is something I have done since I was a child. I used to go through all the magazines my mom and my sister bought, and I would cut up everything. I would cut up words that I liked. I would cut up fonts that I liked, perfume ads, whatnot, outfits that I liked. It didn't really matter, because if it had a vibe, it was coming out. And I was going to arrange it in a certain way that gave more emotions to it. I don't know why it helps me. I'm not really an artistic person in terms of painting or drawing. I would say I'm pretty mediocre on that. So my sister got all the talent for painting. I can paint a flower, and it is like little blobs. It's little circle flower. It's not very good. It is what it is, and that's okay. And I feel like this is a way where I can get a little bit more detailed without having to be as artistic. So honestly, once you have your cup clean, it's time to fill it. And what you fill it with is really, I guess, up to you. Some things that I have been into lately are knitting. I learned knitting when I was like 10 from my mother, but I never really did much with it because it was too hard. But I have decided that I am going to make myself sweaters this year. So this is going to be a cardigan. I like it because I think it's challenging. And while yes, it does sometimes aggravate me, especially when I can't read the pattern or don't understand what it's asking me to do, it is something that I can just chill and read a book to and have a lovely, nice afternoon to myself with the dogs where I don't have to talk to anybody. And for me, that's a nice day. But I've also been playing a lot of Nintendo Switch games, and I've had this recently suggested to me to download the game Palia. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna do that right now, but also I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, because how could you not play one of the best Switch games in the world? Personally, I think. Yeah, these are just hobbies that I do that really allow me to relax and not have to think about things that are taking care of myself or others, or taking care of work, or thinking too hard about things that aren't really life-giving. I hope that makes sense. And you know, it's not just about resting or doing things that you enjoy doing or that, you know, are relaxing to you. It's also about just taking time to reflect and learn. I might be a different personality, and it takes me a long time, not because I don't know what the emotions are, but they're just big feelings, and I don't always know what to do with them. And you know, in therapy, we say all the time, allow yourself to feel the emotions. But you know what? It's hard to allow yourself to feel emotions, okay? It is. sometimes it's just super uncomfy. Sometimes it's super difficult to figure out what or why you're feeling a certain way. But that's also the process of self-care. And I think that's what I've been going through a little bit more this week, is just like having a lot of big emotions from the weekend, from work, from a lot of different things. And it's just piled up over time, and that naturally happens. But I don't know what to do with them. And so sometimes when I'm having a really hard time figuring out my emotions, I will journal like we talked about, or I'll listen to music just to simply like get in a vibe, but also like figure out what lyrics resonate with me at the time. What kind of beats resonate with me at the time? Is it a mad feeling day where like I want to listen to rap and I want to listen to something hard punching, like, or is it a sad day? Is it something different? Is it something where I like quirky lyrics today? It's all different, and I do have a reflective playlist that I have on Spotify that I will listen to regularly. It should probably be called a moody playlist, but you know, whatever. The point is, taking time to reflect on recent events is always a way to let your mind make sense of what just took place. And I've needed to do that this week. Honestly, it's been a hell of a week, just with lots of good things and lots of hard things and normal things that I didn't think I had very well. I knew this big event would be coming, and I knew it was going to drain me of a lot of energy, and I didn't think about how I was going to come back to work after that, which is fine. I just could have prepared better. I think that like kind of proves my point, that we have to be intentional with the way that we care for ourselves, because are we putting clean water into a dirty glass and expecting it to taste good, because it probably won't? Or are we just cleaning the glass and then being like, why is there no water? And I think it takes both. It takes both a clean glass and clean water for us to feel a-okay, you know? And I thought I would learn this lesson with age. You know, I'm turned 30 this year, and I was like, yeah, with age comes wisdom. It's not always true. Sometimes wisdom just comes with practice. And that is something that I need to practice some more. Balancing work, play, and rest. And learning my own limitations and what I need and what works best for me to recover from these events. Because I want to still have awesome, amazing events that are exhausting and, you know, once in a lifetime things, but also I don't want to just do those things and then be a dead, limp shell of a person when I come back. That's not realistic. So, you know, I'm working on it. We will get there eventually, one day, someday, but take care of yourselves, and I will catch you guys next time.